Hello dear viewers, time again for the news here on Rwanda Television with me, Sarish Nhori. We'll begin with the headlines. Rwanda has joined the rest of the globe in celebrating International Labour Day. And on the international scene, farmers and exporters in Zanzibar are expecting stronger demand and improved prices after China expanded tariff-free access to imports from 53 African countries, opening the door to more direct spice exports. Now straight to the details. The Ministry of Public Service and Labour is calling on all workers to improve the services they provide, giving priority to professionalism and work with a mindset of creating jobs that employ many people. This comes as Rwanda has joined the rest of the world in celebrating International Labour Day. Young people, who make up a large share of Rwanda's population, are involved in many development activities and contribute to job creation. Those in this category say it is important to make good use of the available opportunities without looking down on any job. Job creation in Rwanda continues to contribute to reducing the unemployment rate. Research by the National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda last year showed that the country's unemployment rate fell to 13.4% in the second quarter of 2025, down from 16.8% in the second quarter of 2024. The Minister of Public Service and Labour, Ambassador Christine Nkurikiye, says the government of Rwanda's objective is to continue creating jobs that will enable many people, especially young people, to find employment.
The theme of the celebration today, partnering for skills. How do we partner with different stakeholders to ensure that we close the gap between the demand and the supply of skills, and ensure that our young people are really equipped for the labor market. The second one is powering job creation. How do we support the private sector, work all together so that we create more jobs, that we scale what we already have, consolidate scale, but also accelerate the part of job creation, as it is an imperative for development. And of course, the fostering local economic resilience, which is important particularly in these current global situations, where we experience different shocks due to different geopolitical changes that we're experiencing. So how do we make sure that our economy is resilient? Create more jobs, yes, but how are we ensuring that we support our local economy, that we consume locally, we create demand on the local market, by doing so also creating opportunities for economic growth and job creation at the same time.
The Minister of Education, Joseph Nsengimana, says the education sector is ready to help achieve this vision of the government of Rwanda by helping young people complete their studies with adequate skills.
Look at the internship. Internship cuts both ways. It prepares young people for the work, but also it provides the private sector an opportunity to shape the workforce that's coming to it. It is an opportunity not only to contribute to the development of the skills among the young people, but it's a long 3 months or 6 month interview. Because when a young person is interning with you, you get an opportunity to see them work, to see their ethics, to see their skills, their strength, to contribute to strengthening them, but also to scout for future employees. And so I hope that this is something we can strengthen together. DG, you mentioned an opportunity to look at how do we provide the opportunity for young people to intern prior or as they complete their studies. It is something we're exploring right now.
Now, creating more jobs and improving their quality are among the things Rwanda is proud of on this 1st of May, when International Labour Day is celebrated. Private sector operators say this is an opportunity to assess themselves and take measures to improve work. The National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda shows that in 2025, around 238,000 jobs were created. However, the Ministry of Public Service and Labor says there is a goal to continue creating sustainable and long-lasting jobs. Now, coffee farmers and those who have found employment through coffee say that for it to give good and abundant yields, it requires a lot of time, love, and effort to care for it. They say this as coffee farmers in different parts of the country are concluding their coffee season, saying they have also earned sustainable income from it compared with previous years. The National Agricultural Export Development Board, NAEB, has announced that in 2025, Rwanda exported 23,000 tons of coffee, generating $150 million with the average price standing at $6.2 per kilo. The revenue generated that year increased by more than 50% compared to the previous year of 2024. The target is that by 2029, Rwanda will be exporting 32,000 tons of coffee, which could generate more than $192 million. Now, Rwandan exporters are eyeing fresh opportunities in the Chinese market after Beijing officially scrapped import tariffs on goods from 53 African countries, effective the 1st of May. Now, the policy opens duty-free access to one of the world's largest consumer markets and is expected to boost Africa's export competitiveness. William Evans Mutabazi with the details.
Announced by the Chinese president at the African Union Summit and taking effect this May 1st, removes custom duties on nearly all eligible African goods entering China, a market of over 1.4 billion consumers. For countries like Rwanda, exporters say this could significantly reduce the landing cost of their products in China and make them more competitive against suppliers from other parts of the world.
This is a golden opportunity for African countries, including Rwanda, in terms of their export capabilities to access Chinese market. China is a big market in terms of population, in terms of purchasing power, in terms of economy, and it is a very dynamic market. So it's a really a golden opportunity for Rwandan exporters to export more products to the China using a zero tariff policy.
China is the largest market in the world. So to have the opportunity to open it for Africans' product, it's a unique opportunity that people should take advantage of. I can say that usually regulations to import things in China have been always very, very tough. When Chinese government understand that now it's the right time to cooperate or to open doors for the African market, it's because they see a potential in it. It's a unique opportunity which brings us to work very hard and to take advantage of it. It's not something that we should take for granted. The competition is too high. It's very, very, very high. But we need really to take that advantage. When people are smart enough to understand what are the requirements to access that market, this is the very right time to take advantage of it, because it's the very largest audience that we can sell anything that we have, which has a good quality. So having this opportunity, I think it's a unique opportunity to work and to access that market.
For Rwanda, experts argue the country's biggest selling point may not be quantity, but quality and the good relations between China and Rwanda.
For the Rwandan context, I want to tell my fellow Rwandans who are entrepreneurs that we don't need that big quantities that other countries may have in Africa, as we need a niche market, because our government did a very big work in terms of giving the reputation, working the trust. Our country is very much trusted. When you go to the market outside there, you see that when people arrive on our stand, for example, when we go in exhibitions, they always trust our country. Rwanda is already a branding of quality. It's already branded as a quality thing that comes from this side. So it's that name, that reputation is something we should take advantage of it. Even though we have competitors in Africa, even though China has opened the market for everyone. Everyone doesn't have that chance to be trusted as we are. Rwanda is trusted.
I know our embassy in China is doing quite a commendable work. The ambassador is doing marvelous work in terms of exhibition, showcasing, networking, business-to-business linkages. So we need to really leverage on that. We need to harness that opportunity. We need to take advantage of this market. But critical to that is that you must meet or fulfill the compliance requirements. The standards, the quality will give you a competitive advantage, a competitive edge to access that market.
Trade between China and Africa has been hitting record highs, with Beijing reporting sustained growth in imports from the continent as it seeks to deepen economic ties. Economist and businessman John Bosco Kalisa adds that Rwanda-China trade has grown to $849 from $16 in just 3 years.
When you look at our trade, total trade between Rwanda and China, it has grown exponentially from $16 million to almost $849. That is almost 500% increment within a span of 3 years. So we need really to harness and take advantage of this zero tariff policy.
Economists, however, caution that zero tariffs alone do not guarantee automatic exports. Many believe the Chinese policy has handed Rwanda an opening too significant to ignore, an opening where high standards, organic branding, and faster air connectivity could turn a diplomatic announcement in Beijing into real business for exporters in Kigali. William Evans, RwandaTV News.
Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of the news. I look forward to seeing you again. Until then, it is goodbye.